Welcome back to the Opie and Anthony show. One of the co-hosts is choking. Opie's swallowing something. And, of course, we're back. We have Larry the Cable Guy in the studio. We haven't had you on in a long time, man.
No, you know what? When was the last time I was here? Last year.
Last year.
Was it last year?
Yep.
Yeah, it's been about a year. But I heard y'all talking about Pilates.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I never done that either, but in college I did a lot of pull-outies.
I think that might be a little different.
I remember my wife always said I always try and find something to get in shape, you know, and because I'm blowing up like a tick on Dracula. And when my wife says, "Why don't you try yoga?" You ever tried that?
Yeah.
I never want to get my nose that close to my ass crack again. All right, good Lord.
You get it close to a lot of other people's ass cracks, though, man. They're right next to you as you're trying to do this crap.
You won't eat, though. You want some chili? No, I got yoga tomorrow. I better not.
Yeah.
I'll come out looking like I was working on a coal mine all week.
Apparently, Ope's trying that out, that yoga thing, and
Nah.
Sorry.
I'm with you. That's not for me.
You're all getting. All I picture is a room full of people on mats on all fours with their noses too close to someone else's rear end. And like you said, you're twisting in these positions where you're kind of losing gas, and the room stinks.
And someone else is saying that those sounds are something different than farts too.
Oh, maybe in the ladies.
Yeah.
I understand. Yeah, that's...
Some yoga experts are checking in. So, you do anything to stay in shape, Larry?
Oh, well, I went jogging a couple weeks ago.
Yeah?
I didn't want to. My car broke down in a crappy neighborhood. I lost 8 pounds in my CD changer. But, you know, it's just tough. You know, you try. I was getting kind of worried because, you know, I just like food. And I went in for a checkup a while back, and the doctor, his eyes were just, and he's like, "You need to lay off eggs." And I'm like, "Oh, damn, is my cholesterol bad?" He said, "No, your farts are killing it." And, but yeah, I tell you what you shouldn't do is eat in bed.
No.
Because that'll kill you. And I remember I fell asleep with the fondue pot on a couple weeks back and woke up and had third-degree cheese burns on my testicles, and I still ain't found the fondue forks. So.
And perhaps there are certain foods maybe best suited.
Maybe not. Well, I'm not doing that anymore. I take the rotisserie off the headboard and everything, so I'm done with that. Yeah, I'm finished with that. But no, it's good to see. I got to tell you, I'm kind of groggy today. Ever since they moved that TV show Friday Night Lights to Wednesdays, I just don't know what the hell day it is. It's bizarre.
Can I tell you, as a comic, the one thing you don't want to hear when you're doing a city is, "Oh, it's good. Larry the Cable Guy is there the same night." The ticket sales are not good.
Wait, is that happening again? Because
no, it didn't in Poughkeepsie. I wanted to shoot myself.
We had Larry on, and you were going. I think it was Houston.
Oh,
you were at the local improv, and he was playing like the Astrodome or something. No, I'm not even kidding.
Wherever the Super Bowl is held, that's where he's doing a gig. And I think I did the improv. And I wouldn't draw in Houston if every other comedy club in Houston blew up, and mine was the only one that was available. But when you're competing against him, it was in Poughkeepsie, he sold so many seats he had to come back 2 weeks later and do the same venue when it was available again.
You know what, Poughkeepsie was nuts. Poughkeepsie, we did, I went in, I did 2 nights, 2 shows a night, and then I came back 10 days later and did 2 more shows.
That's pretty cool.
I tell you what,
Jesus
Christ. Good fans up there.
You do have a rabid following.
A massive following.
And so does he. He's kind of...
Well, yeah,
you know,
but literally rabid. They bite. They give you diseases that kill you.
A little different, Larry.
Yeah, if you want to compare our followings, picture Fiji and China, if you want to go like numbers-wise.
I actually do a room in China and kick ass.
I was just going to say, Jesus Christ.
Get that done.
Yeah, you just have a ridiculous following, and what do you attribute that to?
Well, you know,
there's a lot of comics out there. I mean...
Well, you know what? I don't know. I think I just kind of struck on something people like. You know, I've always just learned, you know, you be good to your fans be good to you. And, I mean, I honestly love them to death. I mean, it's kind of like a family reunion sort of when I show up. I'm just on stage and doing one-liners and having fun, and they really don't care what I do. They could care less about the political correctness. I think, and as you find out, the more that you go through your career, people, they're sick of that crap. They want to come out and laugh and they don't want to be preached at. They don't want somebody to act like they're better than them. They just want to pay money and laugh. And I think I provide that, and they're just good crowds. And of course I've built that following throughout the years.
Yeah.
So it's not like I just showed up and
overnight.
go, hey, let's go see this guy.
Larry, I just want to jump in. You say that they're sick of the political correctness and they want to come out and just laugh and stuff. We truly believe that is the exact same thing with radio, but for some reason the media has gotten a hold of this radio thing, and they think everyone should be nice and not make fun of particular groups.
Well, the media thinks that they know better than anybody else.
But our audience is like, no, this is why we listen to you guys. It's refreshing. You're saying stuff that we wish we could say to our bosses and to the people around us, you know?
Well, it's like, I forget who was, but them other people got fired for doing a Chinese joke or something.
Oh, yeah, JV and Elvis.
Yeah, those guys. Meanwhile, you got Chinese people calling up going, oh, that sucks, man. Them guys are funny.
Right.
Yeah. But you had one guy, but it's just all of a sudden it's almost like the media is like the super minority media are the ones making the rules for everybody else, and they shouldn't be doing that.
Picture you're playing in front of a packed crowd of your fans, and 3 people walk in and say, well, I don't like what you're saying. Everyone leave. And it's like, well, wait a minute. We're thousands of people enjoying what's happening here.
Yeah, where's their voice?
Why can't we?
They don't get to be heard,
But for some reason, with radio, the people get up and leave. They don't.
Right.
There's no backbone in especially the corporate world. There's no backbone. People obviously don't write letters when they enjoy something. It's just when something pisses them off, you know. And it's so frustrating that such a small minority of people that get offended and their feelings hurt have such power.
You know, it is. It makes me madder than a midget with a yo-yo. You know, I mean, but it's like when I was up. Let me tell you something. Like I was up in North Dakota. They're suing the NCA, North Dakota University, because the NCA wants them to get rid of the Fight and Sue. And everybody up there wants them to keep the name, including the Sioux.
The Sioux, right.
Except for one guy up there. And, of course, the media, they're the guy that they're pulling for. And it's like, you know, if everybody else wants it, then why does it... Why? I just don't understand why the media... Who died and left them God?
Yeah.
I don't understand it, you know? They'll go, well, that's offensive. Well, to you...
Yeah.
But not to all the 80% of the people watching it.
Yep.
If you don't like it, don't listen to them.
Don't listen. Turn it off.
You know what? Yeah, I don't get it. But I think that's what, the crowd's like. I think when you go up and you do your act and you're funny and you give them a good show and you don't apologize for anything you do, because the minute you start apologizing,
they know they got you.
They know they got you. So they can kiss my ass. You know, I'm not apologizing for nothing. If it's funny, I'm doing it. And the only people I got to make happy are those people buying those tickets. And, I think you feel the same way. So.
Absolutely, man. With you, I don't know David Cross. I met him once. There was an ongoing thing with you guys, and I don't know I don't know the detail. I just know that there was an ongoing battle. Did he attack you, or did you attack him? What happened?
You know what I always say, that there was no battle at all. And I've always said to this day, I've always thought he was funny. I watched his shows. My wife loves his shows, and. But I had just, he had said something in an interview I did, and he even says he started. He said he started on Kimmel. I mean, but he had said something that wasn't very flattering about my fans, saying my fans are all a bunch of back-ass hillbilly rednecks, no education, which isn't true. You know, I mean, for God's sake, I got.
It's true for some of them, not Larry.
Well, you know what? But that's true for any act.
Well, yeah.
All right. I mean,
have you seen our fans? Oh, wow.
Oh, Jesus.
One of them asked me for $1.
They don't like your. Our fans think your fans are uppity.
Exactly. But so I basically just said, hey, what are you getting on my fans for? You know, they're just coming out and having a good time. And I never really said anything at all bad about him. I was basically sticking up for my fans, but that's all done and over with. I mean, God bless the guy. I mean, he's got a career. He's successful. He's a funny guy. I hold no grudge against him. I mean, sure, if he came in here right now, I'd go, hey, what's up, Dave? You know, no big deal.
Nothing better than a good comedy war.
I think people were trying to start a comedy war, and it didn't happen, so I think they're disappointed. But, more power to him. I always say this. Anybody that's doing stand-up comedy, God bless them. It isn't easy, and it's hard to do. And I've been blessed to be able to get these big crowds. But I started in 1985, and I worked my hind end off to get to where I am. So, I used to call radio stations, up to 27 of them, every day, 5 days a week, 6 in the morning till 11:30 in the afternoon.
You were one of those guys. We talked about that last time. You had a whole list of stations, and you had to make believe you were only part of that station, and then you moved on to the next one, right?
Yeah.
What was the character?
I had to act like I lived everywhere.
It was Larry.
Well, it was just me calling up as
Larry the cable guy.
I was calling up as a cable guy.
Right.
Yeah, okay. You just...
But you had to be local?
I had to localize everything. In some of these places, I didn't even know where the hell I was, where it was at.
How often would you call each station? Would you give it like a month or 2 weeks, or how often would you?
Almost weekly.
There's probably 30% of them I called every day. There was a small percent I called 1 day a week. Every day, though, I was the least I would do in a day would be 8.
8 stations.
Yeah, and the most I would do in a day would be like 14. But some of them, were just 1 day a week. Sometimes you just call on Friday. But your Friday was always your big day because everybody wanted you on Friday to do like a weekly wrap-up.
Right.
What's going on.
Dude, so you're writing jokes. You're up at 3 in the morning going, oh, damn. And the funny thing about doing that was sometimes you're just tapped. There's nothing going on. You're
nothing.
Just tapped. And so I go, well, this really sucks, this commentary I've written. I'm going to act like I am hammered. And so I just call up, hey, fellas. And you think it's like disaster. You're just acting like you're hammered through the whole thing, and then you got friends calling you up, dude, it was hilarious.
I had nothing. Yeah.
I know, exactly.
How did you remember what you did? Because I actually thought of him when I was in the Midwest recently, because I think he's legendary for doing that as a comic. He's getting up radio stations, an animal. How do you remember what you said? I forget what I said here, and I'm only here. How do you remember what you said on this station? Oh, I said it last Tuesday when I called them. Oh, no, wait, was that Wichita? How do you...
Well, when I was doing those, I wrote out a script. So once that station was done, once I did this same script for everybody, that one was filed away, and we did another one. I would do another one. So
yeah, it's called professionalism,
Jimmy. Anybody begrudge him success? Oh my God!
Yeah, he paid his dues. Man.
I literally got notebooks and stacks of just social commentaries. I mean, all the way up. I mean, I think, back to the end of the Bush senior years is when I started doing the commentary.
Wow.
All through Clinton, all through the first half of Bush.
You could get a whole history lesson just going through your files.
Oh, man, I got a lot of good material off there in Reno and all that, so I miss them guys.
Damn.
What's on your mind these days? What do you think of the president and the tornado? And we got a lot of cool stuff going on these days.
I'll tell you, the one thing is the global warming stuff. I mean, I'd be more apt to believe that stuff if a bunch of wingnuts weren't pushing it. Like Al Gore's walking around. Have you seen Al Gore?
Yeah.
Evidently global warming ain't melted his ice cream. Good job. And then Sheryl Crow, we need 1 square of toilet paper.
We were off the air. Thank you for bringing that up. We were off the air. We did 2 weeks of vacation, and that was the big story. She wants everyone to use 1 square of toilet paper.
To save you. Evidently,
what the hell does she eat?
Evidently she ain't been eating what I'm eating.
Right.
Hey, Sheryl, come to my grandma's house on Sloppy Joe night. You'll use the whole roll, the tube, and a couple pillowcases.
Sloppy Joe night.
But Sheryl Crow.
Just another person that's out of touch with the whole thing.
Yeah.
One sheet of toilet paper.
It really irritates you. Even if I was single, I would not have sex with Sheryl Crow. If Sheryl Crow was... All right, I would. All right, never mind. I would.
I mean, smash her in the mouth with that dumb guitar to shut her up.
Yeah.
We get it. You can sing. Shut up.
I always love these talk shows. Like, I sit home and listen to these talk shows. I think it's always funny, right? We go to, Des Moines. And there's some guy talking and railing on Rumsfeld and what an idiot he was and blah, blah. And I'm thinking to myself, and I'm not really, you don't know. I'm not in that field. I don't know. But I'm just thinking to myself, here you got a guy that went to West Point and spent his entire career studying the great military leaders and battles and earned all these medals and studying the art of war. And yet... Ricky, the assistant manager from Radio Shack, is calling him an idiot. You know, Ricky, let Ricky run the war. He knows what's going on. You know, I just
see, our take on that is like we do that stuff obviously, but we have these in front of us, microphones, so we're experts.
Right. Exactly.
You get a microphone in front of you, you're now an expert on everything.
No matter what you say, you're right. Because you got a microphone.
Exactly. Yeah,
oh, man, is
that's
that
really funny, man.
That's hilarious.
Too goddamn true, man.
I was another one of the blue-collar guys who I only met once or twice who I love, Ron White, who just, all he does is drink. He's the greatest.
I know.
I heard he's flying, is he like flying private planes? I hear he's really enjoying life.
Oh, he's enjoying it. But I'll tell you what, Ron has not had a sip of liquor in 132 days.
Oh, cool, man.
Yeah, I think it's 132. He was slurring when he said that.
Can I point out that's how you know you're an alcoholic when your friends go, it's been 132 days.
And we're hoping he can make 140.
I got a joke about Ron. I said, went over to Ron's house and he's got like a diploma above his office, and I didn't even know he went to college. I said, well, what college did you graduate from? He goes, no, that's a liquor license. All right, that makes sense.
You guys now, I mean, obviously you're doing very well for yourselves. And your audience, I think, seems like the type of audience, like ours too, wants that credibility, wants that, down to earth kind of, you're not getting too high and mighty, and they know, ours especially, to pull us right back down, to earth if we start thinking we're a little too, do you find it hard though, the more success you get, to keep relatable with the audience?
Well, no, not at all, and I'll tell you why. It's just like, I've got the same friends I've always had before this started. I mean, my two best buddies in the whole world are my buddy Brad Ward from Sanford, Florida, who looks just like me, and his southern accent, you can't even understand the guy. And my other good buddy is Marty Hill from Tulsa, Oklahoma, who's a cattle auctioneer. And they're my two best friends, and they have been, and we always hang out together. I live in the same place I've always lived. I just moved one house down. My brother lives in my old house. I haven't moved to L.A. or New York, so I keep it pretty grounded.
I imagine that one house down is a little nicer than the house you left.
It's a mini mall.
Is it a little better than your...
I'm not going to sit here and listen to that.
Mini mall.
It is.
Right. You moved into the mall, right? Very good, Jimmy.
No, it is. Hey, it is bigger. Obviously, it is.
Come on, we love you.
Not going to give his brother the big house.
We love you, but we can't let that slide. I think that other house is a little nicer, man.
Well, it is. It's a couple thousand square feet bigger.
All right.
But I'm just saying, I haven't really bought myself anything too extravagant. But I mean, I like nice things. I mean, who wouldn't?
Every so often you go out and spend some money.
Yeah, but I really haven't changed much else. I mean, I dress like this because I like dressing like this. It's not because it's for show. I mean, I live in Florida. It's hot. I love wearing sleeveless shirts. So, boom, I do it.
So, you guys, what is your crowds? Like, you're doing, a lot of 5,000-seat venues. Are you still doing, occasionally you're doing, bigger than that, right?
Oh, I've been, for the last 3 years, I've been on an arena tour. Yeah. So.
Hey, 3 years, Jimmy.
3-year arena tour.
He's going to hang himself, Larry. Don't do this to him.
But that I'm happy for him because I love the fact that a comic is doing that, and I also want to kill myself and him out of disgusting jealousy. But a 3-year arena tour, it's my.
How about you do one of our shows just for free as a goof?
Yeah, just as
a goof.
Yeah,
we can't afford you, but we could give you a nice crowd.
I tell you what, if I was close and you all were doing something, I'd come in and say, "Y'all been good to me." I mean, I'd do something like that in a heartbeat if I was around.
Well, we do our comedy tour. It's the second summer, and we did pretty well last year. We got some nice numbers. Not Larry the Cable Guy.
I bet he's booked up for every date.
I'm sure. I'm sure. Because as soon as these mics go off, he goes, talk to my people. And
but if I was close and you all were doing that, I would more than happy to do it. But
all right, you heard it here. Larry the Cable Guy might show up at one of the ONHL Virus comedy.
But I'm not flying in for you bastards.
Hold on, Larry. Ticket sales are lagging in a couple of places. Larry the Cable Guy will be appearing on 10 of the 12 Virus shows.
Why don't you hint that you just might be in the Boston area? We're up there. We could use a little help up there.
Oh, Boston. I was up there a while back. I saw some of I saw fat homeless people.
Yeah?
How does that happen?
I have no idea. They must be new, I guess. I guess you really can eat yourself out of house and home in this country.
Hey, we got Dan from Alabama. We got to get him on the phone here. Dan, what's up?
I love you. Love the show.
Yeah,
thanks, man.
we force our listeners to say that, by the way.
Yeah, I would.
We want it to sound like they got a gun to their head, Larry. That's how we roll here. What's up, Dan?
Exactly. Hey, I like to ask Larry to sort of tell a joke or two about us Southern truck drivers, if he sure would.
You don't like the Southern truck drivers, Larry?
I love truck drivers. Shoot, I like the truck drivers. Yeah, I always like the truck drivers. You know, they always, listen to y'all on your XM there.
Oh, yeah.
I can mention that on this?
Yeah,
Oh,
sure.
okay. I never know what I can mention or not.
Yeah, we're on there.
But yeah, no, truck drivers are awesome. As a matter of fact, one time I remember, this is years ago, I was leaving the Comedy Zone in Jacksonville, and this is probably 2001, 2000, and some trucker told a joke. So I got on there and I told a joke, and then they laughed, and I told another, and they laughed, and then you hear this trucker go, "Keep them coming, boy, keep them coming." And I drove 2 hours all the way back to Orlando on my CB, because I got a big old Dodge truck on a 12-inch and 38, and I was driving it down the road. I did a 2-hour show on the way to Orlando, and I had all these truckers chiming in, "Oh, that's a good day." It was pretty hilarious.
CB radios are still out there.
Oh, yeah.
The truckers are still using them, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone has fun with their radios, and whatever work truck you're in.
Honestly, God, they are still.
Yeah.
I had my work fleet there at Apollo Air Conditioning had the Motorola radios, and I used to have a micro cassette recorder, and I would record the other guys calling the bass, or the bass calling the other guys. And then when I would drive, I would just play it back, and you'd hear like 17 to bass, and then you'd hear bass go ahead 17, and I rewind. 17 to base, go ahead! Like, and they get all pissed off. Or base to 12. Go ahead. Base to 12. What? Can you hear me? They get so pissed off. Or they'd ask a question, and then an hour later, I'd have them ask the same question. You asked me that an hour ago.
That's pretty funny.
Fun with the radios, man.
You what, all you got to do is pick up a CB and say something good about Jeff Gordon, and you will have a conversation on that CB for 3 hours on that thing. Now, do y'all follow NASCAR and all? Or?
I try to figure it out. My brother's a big fan of NASCAR.
Yeah,
we
huge fan.
Some of them at XM, so we kind of like try to keep up a little bit. But we
had what's his name on? He was winning every race.
Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy Johnson. And
yeah, we know the bigger names, but
we became friends with Jimmy Johnson. We had him on a lot, and he was on a winning streak. And then I don't know. I think we said something that might have
did we
ended that relationship. We haven't had him on in 6 months, and we like the guy.
Yeah, they got.
We're always like blowing it.
We probably said something like, we enjoyed watching his IndyCar race.
Yeah,
that was the wrong sport.
We're total dopes.
Well, Larry
did the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, Larry, we're very hacky when we talk to the NASCAR drivers. We say all the dumb stuff, like, do you think of throwing stuff out the window to make other guys get flat tires? We're really hacky with our NASCAR material. Maybe you can help us out. I don't know.
A smoke screen on the back, like James Bond.
Well, I like NASCAR better than Formula, but I tell you what, I do like Danica Patrick. And,
okay.
I love how they say she's going to grab the pole on the weekend. But that's the big thing now. Everybody's pissed off. They got Toyota in NASCAR.
Yeah.
And I'm like going, oh, man, as long as they ain't got no Asian drivers, that's all I got to say. Good Lord. And they're off. Oh, there's a crash. Plus, it's not good for the children because you don't want to hear the announcer go, here comes Dong up the rear every 25 minutes.
Hey, there you go. We can update our NASCAR material now.
Yeah.
I can say that joke. I got an Asian wife.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, see? Apparently that doesn't wash.
Who knows? Who knows
No,
what washes?
I really don't.
Doesn't wash with JV and Elvis.
I really don't, but she likes crab rangoons.
Oh, okay. Well, close enough.
My wife
We're going to get Larry out of here in a few minutes because he's doing like another 10 TV shows today, and who knows what.
Yeah, we'll be seeing him popping up on the monitors behind us.
What show are you doing today after us?
You know what? I'm doing Regis and Kelly.
Oh, that's cool.
That's a good show. And then I'm doing Conan tonight.
Very cool.
And did you haven't seen me on Leno on Tuesday? Dude, I was on with Matthew Fox from Lost.
Oh, yeah.
And I always like being the second guest. They always say you want to be, and I'm like, no, I want to be second. I like playing off them acts, you know. I had 2 great stories about that. I was on with Matthew Fox, and of course he's on Lost, and I go, you know, you and I have a lot in common. Your TV show and my movies. After everybody sees them, they say the same thing. What the hell did I just watch? I don't understand. I go, you named that show right because you missed one episode. You're freaking lost. And then I was on, the best one though, I was on with Kate Blanchett. And she just prim and proper, you know, Juilliard schooled actress, you know. And I'm doing my jokes. You know, I did that joke about, no, your farts are killing us, you know, that kind, and she's just stone-faced. Oh, she can't believe she's hearing this stuff. And so I did a joke about, I said, Jay, so I'm in Vegas and my toilet wouldn't flush. And I couldn't figure out why. And I took off the lid to my toilet tank. You ain't gonna believe what was in there. David Blaine. Right? And everybody laughs. And I look at her and she's just sitting there stone-faced. I go, you believe that, Blanchett?
Blanchett.
You believe that? David Blaine holding his breath in my turd tank for 4 days. And the look of horror on her face. Oh, my buddy said that was hilarious.
That's why we love you, man.
Oh, man. Well, you know what?
Hey, we should promote the movie. Yes. Well, I mean, that's why you're here, really.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
No
Delta
doubt.
Farce? What's that about?
You know what? Delta Farce is awesome. Unlike my last movie, this one's a comedy. I had we had the premiere at Andrews Air Force Base, whereas Health Inspector, we had the premiere at Abu Ghraib. And you know what? This is a great movie. It's me, DJ Qualls from Hustle and Flow and Road Trip. That dude needs to eat a sandwich because that kid, good God, I've thrown fish back way more than that kid. He's like 6'1", 50 pounds. And Bill Engvall. But, you know, we get sent off to Iraq. They think we're soldiers. We're not. We're basically just out shooting guns at an armory, and we get mistaken as soldiers. We're on our way to Iraq. They go through a storm in the C-130, and they got to dump some equipment to lose an oil pressure, and mistakenly, the Humvee rolls out the back of the C-130, parachutes to the ground. These guys wake up. Oh, my God, we're in Iraq. Lock and load, boys. They're scared to death. Well, they're in Mexico. And they have no idea. And it was filmed on location in Los Angeles. So, you know what, it's a great movie, and you know, it has absolutely, you know, it's just military background for this, but it has nothing to do with the war in Iraq at all. And we actually did premiere it at Andrews Air Force Base, brought a lot of the soldiers over from Walter Reed, and I knew it was funny. I knew they'd like it. But I mean, the response we got was even more than I thought it would. And
that's awesome.
And the cool thing was, I got a letter from the colonel there at the Air Force Base, and he said, "Man, this was awesome. The troops loved it. There was absolutely no sensitivities in the movie, you know, because you worry about stuff like that when you put something out, because people can't separate politics from comedy anymore.
Nope.
But they loved it, and so I hope people go see it. It's really a good movie, and it really is different than the first one. This is an ensemble. Everybody's got their share of jokes. Danny Trejo's in it, that badass Mexican with the tattoo on his stomach, and he's funny in this. So, yeah, I hope people go check it out. We were going to change the name of it to Spider-Man 4.
Shut up. Can you imagine? Someone should do that just for the hell of it. You get sued, I'm sure. But the movie starts tomorrow.
Yeah, the movie starts tomorrow, so I hope everybody here in the city goes out and checks it out.
And you were in Cars, which was just a great movie. I love the cartoons, man.
Yeah, the thing that sucked about though is because of Brokeback Mountain, they took the part out where I got rear-ended. And that was the part that stunk. No, that was a cool. You just put a scratch on my scratch.
Yeah,
I do that to little kids. You know, they'll come and they go, "That was Mater," and they go, "No, it ain't." And I go, "Hey, you just put a scratch on my scratch." Ah! You know, they freak. That's pretty cool.
Awesome. Groupies.
Huh?
I know we got to take a break, right? Do you get groupies?
You know, I have groupers, women with fish faces. That's what I have.
LarryTheCableGuy.com. LarryTheCableGuy.com. And you got the CD out as well. Morning Constitution?
Morning Constitutions is my brand new CD, so I hope people go check that out. And I wanted to just thank you all for having me in, man. Thanks for always supporting me, and I'm really happy with all
Well, you're going to return the favor. You're going to be at one of our shows, right?
Let me tell you something. Like I said before, well, you know, I live in Florida 6 months a year, in Nebraska 6 months a year. So if I'm able to do it, by God, I'd love to.
How cool would that be, though? Out of nowhere, he just walks on the stage and does a few minutes.
If he can't make it, there's another character that I've been working on called Jim, the Direct TV employee. I'll be happy to try.
I've heard of it. It's been making the waves.
Larry, it's always a pleasure. You're great, man.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
But you don't need to hear that. You do 10 shows a day.
3-year arena tour.
Yeah, 3 years. How many people, the most you performed in front of? Live?
Well, the biggest crowd I've done so far.
I'm just asking this question to really bum him out, by the way. So, even if it's, make the number really high.
Well, the biggest crowd I've done so far was where was it? It was in the Georgia-Florida line there. I can't remember where it was at, but 15,000. And then, so that was the big. Now, the biggest blue collar ever did, all 4 of us together. This was really awesome. Talk about nervous. Oh, man. We did the final rehearsal before our 3rd movie at the Gaylord Center in Nashville. Still hold the record today. We beat Elton John and Billy Joel. We did over 21,000.
Oh.
And, dude, it was nerve-wracking. I mean, you shouldn't do comedy in a
walk
big
out in
like
front
that.
of 21,000 people.
It really throws your timing off a little bit.
Would you guys revolve closing, or would you guys have an order that you did set?
No, we had to set. I think I closed it off, and Jeff came up and said, "Hey, you want to close this show this time?" And he goes, "I am sick and tired of following everybody." And he had a point. He's going up, and we're all doing our best 15 minutes, and Jeff's got to go up after it, and he's like, "I ain't following you guys anymore," And he could do it easily, but he didn't do it.
Right, there you go. We got to get you out of here. He's got to get to Regis. He's got a car outside. So it's LarryTheCableGuy.com to get all your info, basically. But Delta Farce starts tomorrow.
Delta Farce starts tomorrow. Go check it out. Thanks for having me on. And I got to do this. It's in my contract. Get her done.
Get her done. There you go. Larry the Cable Guy. It's the Opie and Anthony Show. Once again, I want to thank Larry the Cable Guy for stopping by. Of course, after Larry the Cable Guy left the studio, we ran right down the hall to see what was dumped.
Right. Because he was doing some of his jokes.
He was doing his jokes
in front of tens of thousands of people that laugh and find it hysterically funny.
He's been on a 3-year arena tour, doing the exact, not the exact, but some of the jokes you heard on our interview with him.
None of it contained any foul language whatsoever.
And we're breaking this to Jimmy live on the air because we thought it would be a lot of fun to hear Jimmy's natural reaction. They dumped out the Asian material.
Yes.
Just about all of it.
Wait.
Yeah.
They dumped out, did they jump out of the driving reference?
Pretty much all of it.
I believe, yeah.
Pretty much all of it.
They dumped out of, yes.
Pretty much all of it.
How infuriating is it?
That's disgusting. How can management explain that?
I don't know. We gotta.
See, we argue that we're comedians. Larry is a comedian.
Yeah.
There's no argument. That's what he has been doing since 1985.
Get me that crappy Dat Fan material.
Wow.
Get me some of that stuff and just play it. Can we play that?
Margaret Show.
Hey, I want to do a 5 o'clock funnies at 8:30. Get some Margaret Show. Mm-hmm. Get some
doing
Dat
her mother's
Fan.
accent. All she does. My mother talking like that. But she wouldn't have an act if it wasn't for making fun of her mother's accent.
I bet that just got dumped out of. I bet you doing that just got dumped out of.
Yeah, they're just...
I bet it did.
They're uber sensitive.
It did? Yeah. You cannot do a stereotypical accent
Jimmy's
from any other ethnic group without it being dumped out of.
Wow.
And if Dat Fan or Margaret Cho came on this program and did it, I assume they would let it fly.
Yeah, it would be fine.
I don't know. They're basing freedom of speech on ethnicity right now.
I'm just going to tell you, I'm embarrassed for the station.
I'm embarrassed for
this country.
I'm embarrassed for the Asian listeners of this radio show.
I'm embarrassed for Earth.
I'm embarrassed for the Asian listeners. I'm sorry, but this company has decided that you can't handle Asian humor.
You can't handle
where a joke might make fun of an Asian stereotype. Wow. I'm sorry. I have to apologize to the Asian listeners that do listen to our show, and they do. And they do.
People on XM caught it.
Yeah, they did.
So now we have to take it off the air and put it right back on my drive home where it belongs.
Wow.
Excuse me?
The fact that a reference to an Asian person driving would get dumped, it's almost, it's like, I'm boggled.
You know
that a company would allow themselves to be beaten that badly by a special interest group. I mean, beaten, not like victorious, but beaten like the way you would beat a naughty child or an animal. To be beaten that badly by a special interest group is embarrassing.
Isn't it amazing? That is one step above being called out by a chicken for doing the chicken crosses the road joke. It's that old and of a joke and that silly. Why?
Let's try this. Hi, I'm gay. Hi.
Well, where's the joke? Let's see it.
Wow. Well, we got
a gay voice. I just did a gay voice.
Well, we got a big meeting with the new boss next week, so we'll take it to the top and
discussion
and see where we can get.
This goes to the top
because I mean now you're just insane. Larry the Cable Guy should be able to do whatever the hell he wants with his humor on our radio show as long as it doesn't break any FCC regulations.
I don't fault Al.
That's as simple as it gets.
Al has been pretty good with the.
I don't blame Al. It's coming from above.
I blame Al for just being an ass.
Wait, can we do
But
hi, this is Mr. Steinberg. I'm a Jewish fella.
Well,
why not? I'm just curious.
Maybe if you did it in a Jewish accent.
That's the best I can do.
I don't know what that was. I thought you were doing Asian again.
No,
it might have gotten dumped because he might have mistaken that for Asian.
No. I'm a Jewish fella. No.
Are you?
Jews are okay. Gays are okay. How y'all doing? I live in Uptown.
Look at Jimmy.
And then Iraq types and clicks and tries to see if it got dumped.
Just uber
the black one was okay
to the Asian stuff right now.
That was okay.
No,
I didn't know it was bad.
It's okay for now, but then now that you told all the special interest groups that it's easy to get to you, of course now all the other groups are going to jump on board, and eventually all that stuff you just did will not be okay.
How about this?
I don't know what that means.
That was Swahili or something.
All right. Hey, listen, we'll bring it to the top next week.